To always get the latest Game Tea, don't forget to follow us on social media. You can find us at Twitter at Game Tea Podcast X. You can find us on Facebook at The Game Tea Podcast, and you can find us on Instagram at The Game Tea Podcast. We post frequently, giving you podcast updates, posting gaming news, and the occasional meme. Check them out after the show, and thank you so much for listening to The Game Tea Podcast. And welcome to another episode of the Game Tea Podcast. My name is JP.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Czar.
All right. Today, we have a very new segment. Something I'm very excited for, but something that did not come from me, but instead is a beautiful creation of Zach. So, Zach, tell us what we're doing today.
Yeah, what are we doing today, Zach?
So let me set the stage for you guys. Have you guys ever bought a game and then another game came out and you played the other game and forgot about your other game?
Are you spying on me?
Only too many times.
And do you guys just think that it keeps happening and you're kind of getting worried about not only your bank account, but also like, what the hell were you thinking?
I'm just digging myself a deeper hole.
True.
Well, then have I got the segment for you boys.
Oh boy.
I'm going to let you all solve my problems.
Yay?
So like Czar said, I dug myself into a hole. I have purchased 3 wonderful games, and then I bought Paper Mario and forgot about these 3 wonderful games.
Well, it's not just 3 games for you though, Zach. I mean, how many games are currently on your quote unquote backlog of games?
Yes.
Zach, answer the question.
Greater than you think.
30.
Okay, less than you think, but it's close to that. JP's about spot on. So anyway.
Oh my God, really?
I have a problem with video game sales and old video games that I hear are good things.
Drum roll, please.
So here's how this segment's going to work. It's called Tales from the Backlog. Spooky music.
I even love the name of this segment. Tales from the Backlog? That's good.
Shout out to, I think there was a Borderlands commercial that's like Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah, totally.
Video game.
That's the Telltale version of Borderlands.
Yeah. rest in peace, Telltale.
I was thinking of Tales from the Crypt, but I'm old fashioned like that.
Boo on you, Czar.
Yeah. So I just imagine JP editing in cool spooky music into this. Or Czar, whoever edits our things. I don't know who it is.
This episode's going to be Czar.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring that up. We're doing a little bit of a switcheroo, and JP's going to be editing the articles this week.
That is going to be one trip. Yeah, Czar usually edits the Wednesday episode, and I usually do the Saturday episode. But yeah, this time the segment's going to go to Czar, and I think he's going to have a lot of fun with it.
So if this makes it past production, tell us who you like more and the other one leaves. All right, so anyway, here's how this Tales from the Backlog will work. Basically, the boys and I have all picked 3 games that we like and that we purchased at one time or another. We're going to go over a few things on this game. We're going to talk about why we purchased it, give a summary of the game, and kind of give some reviews on Metacritic if it's applicable or not, and then kind of say why we haven't played it. So for me, it kind of, for all these games, I just had like Paper Mario came out and then life happened. I don't know. I haven't gotten to it.
Okay, it's really funny that you say that because I recently just finished Breath of the Wild, like 200 hours worth. And right before you suggested this Tales from the Backlog, I backlogged everything else and started playing Paper Mario. So I am in this with you.
Guys, Paper Mario, man.
Guys, you're not going to believe this. I haven't even played Ghost of Tsushima yet because of Paper Mario.
God damn you, Paper Mario.
It's so good.
Yahoo!
Oh my gosh. All right,
we're backlogged from it.
So this is a real problem, and I need my friends' support, and our viewers, please support us because we need help. we have problems. All right, so that's kind of the nitty gritty of it. After that, the boys will select a game that they think that we should play, and then we have to play it within 24 hours or we die.
Oh,
I didn't sign up for this.
It was in the fine print.
Oh no, I never read that.
It was
How
very
about
small.
this? After Paper Mario, whatever game gets selected today, no more sleeping on it. After Paper Mario,
You gots to play it. You gots to.
All right. With all that said, are we feeling ready to tell our scary stories?
Zach, this is your brainchild. What's in your backlog right now?
So the first game on my backlog is a game that I actually hyped up for you guys. So I don't just hype up games to hype them up for no reason. I buy the games I hype up. I'm not just, all talk. With that being said, I bought this game and I have yet to actually, I put it into my Switch and I got the gold points. I don't know if you guys know about that. I haven't touched it since.
Yep, know all about the gold points.
This game is the Wonderful 101 Remastered Edition for Nintendo Switch.
Oh, yeah. I remember you talking about this. You haven't played it yet?
No. It's funny. I bought it on the Wii U. I had it on the Wii U as a demo. And
did you play the demo?
I played the demo. It was really fun. I was like, I'll get to that eventually. And then, I don't know. So I was like, I got to buy the Switch because I really want it. And so, yeah. I hyped it up a lot, and that's kind of why I bought it. So basically, Wonderful 101, there's 100 superheroes from all over the world, and they group up in these like super cool like Power Ranger-like suits.
Okay.
So there's 100 of them, so there's a ton of them, right?
Yeah.
And so it's very anime in the fact that like all of you like fuse together, and like so if you're Wonder Red, you form a fist. If you're Wonder Blue, you form a sword. Huh. So it's like, imagine you're a Power Ranger and the Power Ranger's holding the other guys.
Okay.
And my favorite's the German guy, and his name's Wonder Green, and he's just Wonder Gun. All right, he's just got a motherfucking gun.
Just gun.
So it's like it's Platinum Games, so it's just got all that character that you expect in a Platinum game, and it's just so out there and fun. And then aliens come to conquer the Earth, and it's just over the top and crazy.
That's how it really sounds cool. It really does.
Wait.
Yeah.
You said there were 100 superheroes, but it's called the Wonderful 101.
Czar. That's where the cheesy segue comes in.
Nothing gets by old Czar.
The 101 is you, Czar. You're the one.
No way.
What is Czar's superpower? Smelling bad?
Oh, no.
The inability to do math?
Obviously, I haven't beaten the game yet, but I think you're the person who draws the thing. That's kind of because you gotta kind of draw it with a touchscreen, or you can use like the right thing to draw it.
Oh, okay.
That's how you make your gun or whatever. And then current reviews on Metacritic. So guys, I was kind of mad. This game on the Wii U got like an 80 something. It was like up there. It was really high. And then on the PS4 version, it's still at like an 80, 86, I think. I'm pretty sure it's 86.
Okay, that's not bad.
On the Switch, it's got a 72.
What?
What's with the difference there?
Yeah,
Why
what
is
happened?
it better on the PlayStation?
I dead ass think it's just because like it's on the Switch and there's Switch haters. Because like there's frame rate issues, but it's also in the PS4 version. It's also in the Xbox version. Or no, it's not Xbox version.
No.
It's also in the PC version. That's why I thought it was Xbox, because PC, Xbox, it's the same thing.
Yeah, basically.
So I really think it's just hate, because I would see this game as an 80 plus critic game. Like, it's a great game. Is it going to win any like game of the years? No, but it's a fun game.
And that's all that matters in the end, is that it's fun.
Good enough for your backlog.
Exactly.
All right, so Wonderful 101, pretty sweet. But here is game number 2, Luigi's Mansion 3.
How have you not played Luigi's Mansion 3? It's so good.
I purchased the game because it's a first party Nintendo Switch exclusive. I literally purchased every single one of these. So Luigi's Mansion 3 is Luigi in a mansion saving Mario.
Again.
All right. Okay, it's current reviews. It's a rockin' 86. Like, this is one of the best games on the Switch. It is what it is. I have never played a Luigi's Mansion game, guys.
Really?
I own a GameCube. I own a 3DS. I just never got into it.
You just said you owned all of them.
No, I owned all the consoles that they've been on. Thanks for clarifying.
But not the game. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
And Luigi's Mansion's always been a hit series. Like, people love it. It started off kind of as a cult following thing. And now it's kind of big. It's big picture.
Yeah, I mean, looking for Luigi's Mansion, the first one for the GameCube, it's one of the most rare GameCube games. I mean, it's highly sought after. Yeah, Luigi's Mansion was a big deal.
And it's still a great looking game.
I have it and I treasure it just like my S-level house from the game.
And so I just haven't played it yet. I kind of bought it for Krista because it's kind of a slower paced game. I thought it'd be a good like intro for her.
Sure.
And she almost beat it. I mean, she got like 15 hours in. It's not a crazy long game.
No, in fact, it sounds like she was like a couple hours from being done.
Yeah, but it was like her first video game, so she kind of hopped all over the place. Went back to Fortnite.
Damn you, Fortnite.
I haven't gotten to it yet, guys. It's just kind of sitting there in my backlog.
Okay.
And the final game that I had to sell you boys on is a little game that you guys may have recommended to me 100 times. It's BioShock.
How have you not played BioShock?
Yes.
Are you joking?
So correct me if I'm wrong, but BioShock is like a good game. It got a 96 on Metacritic. It's one of the best games of all time.
Yeah.
For reference, I think the highest game is a 97, right? It's Breath of the Wild and Ocarina of Time and like a few others, like Last of Us.
I don't know that information off the top of my head, to be fair, but I mean,
I know up there.
Yeah.
Zach, seriously, bro, would you kindly play BioShock? Would you kindly?
That's for later in the segment. Zor, shut up. JP, can you summarize it for me? Because I don't get it.
So, I mean, there's 3 BioShock games. The first BioShock is essentially you're a man that is in a plane and you wreck in the middle of the sea, but you find this huge tower that goes down to the ocean to this secret world called Rapture. And essentially a bunch of rich people got together and decided that they wanted to live in this society that was underwater, that was created, where there were like towns and bubble, all under this bubble.
And party till the end of days.
Mm-hmm. But essentially there was this drug that came around called Eve and Adam that gave you powers, but also made you go absolutely crazy, and it destroyed society. So you find yourself in this place after getting shipwrecked. And I don't want to give too much away via spoilers, but you kind of go through the game, you meet a couple of interesting characters, you kill a bunch of the crazy people who have the powers from the drugs, and you get some of the powers from the drugs. It's so you get the powers, you get guns, it's a first-person shooter, it's got a little bit of action, it's got a little bit of horror, it's got a beautiful world. BioShock is great. One of my all-time favorite games.
All right, with that all being said, guys, what do I need to play next, guys? I'm struggle bussing.
Zach has presented us with 3 great games: The Wonderful 101, Luigi's Mansion, and BioShock. So in your opinion, which of these 3 is a must play for Zach as soon as he's done with his current game? I mean, it's time to end the backlog. What is he playing next?
Okay, well, in my very selfish and very biased opinion, Zach, you got to play Luigi's Mansion 3 because you promised I could borrow it next and I want to play it.
Oh, you're so selfish.
Whole reason why you need to play this game is to give it to Czar.
You're son of a bitch, Czar. I'm in.
Okay, I disagree. I think he needs to play BioShock. And for one, because I mean, BioShock has been around forever, so it takes superiority. But also, if you look at those Metacritic reviews, this is clearly the more acclaimed game. Luigi's Mansion 3 was great, but BioShock was revolutionary. BioShock is going down in gaming history.
Okay, we know you're going to have a great time with BioShock, but with Luigi's Mansion, you're not going to spend a lot of time. You're going to zone out and not be too committed. If you beat BioShock 1, well then, you're going to have to play BioShock 2, and then you might as well play Infinite after that. So, I mean...
Rabbit hole.
Yeah, you're setting yourself
and
up for a rabbit hole.
And
there's DLC.
Oh my God, the DLC.
The DLC in BioShock 2 is 110% worth it. So you got to play that.
I also think that when it comes to the kind of games that Zach generally likes to play, Luigi's Mansion 3 is fantastic, but it's got a lot of walking simulator-esque things, and it's got some puzzles.
Huh? Oh, I'm not so smart.
I know, buddy. It's okay. But no, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is there's a lot of moments where it's not necessarily about the action, but rather what's going on around you. And I know Zach, and for him, gameplay and action are probably the biggest aspects of like choosing to play a game. And honestly, that could throw Wonderful 101 in here as well. You know, it's like, for me, it's almost now BioShock more, Wonderful 101 next, and then Luigi's Mansion after that.
Well, see, we had it boiled down to 2 horror games, essentially. And Zach, as you said before, you never played a horror game. Do you want your true first horror game experience to be BioShock or something like Outlast? You know, just do like Baby's First Scary, you know?
Are you referring to Luigi's Mansion 3 as like Outlast-ish?
No, as Baby's First Scary.
Baby's First Scary.
Yeah, BioShock is a great
Mario.
game. Yeah, you got the colorful, goopy, slimy cartoon ghosts. Yeah, it's just cute and fun. BioShock, now that's a horror game.
Oh, BioShock actually has some great jump scares too. Great jump scares.
Yourself.
The atmosphere is great, but yeah,
you're allowed to defend yourself, but it is still very scary. And I don't know. Do you want that to be your first horror game experience?
All right, so it sounds like we've eliminated Wonderful 101.
Yeah, Wonderful 101. It's not that it sounds bad. It's just that, like, I think it's more important from your backlog perspective to play either Luigi's Mansion 3 or BioShock.
Okay. So it sounds like we're really stuck between Luigi Mansion 3 and BioShock.
Zar, after talking about it a little bit, which one are you more leaning towards?
I'm still a selfish son of a bitch.
Oh, you
gotta
going
play
Luigi's
Mansion.
If I let you borrow Luigi's Mansion, would you say BioShock?
I want you to play it first, though, because I mean, it's helping me complete my backlog, but I got to do something on the backlog first. So if
you are a selfish son of a bitch, you know that?
I'm cold and calculated.
All right, I'm all in on BioShock because fuck Zar.
Dablet.
No, Zar and I have to come to an agreement.
No, it sounds like Zar won't ever come to an agreement because he's selfish.
Fine, I'll put my selfish nature aside and you should play BioShock.
All right, and I also agree. Your next game after you're done with your next title sounds like it's going to be BioShock, Zach.
You don't sound very thrilled about that, JP.
I'm very thrilled. You are about to experience an amazing game trilogy. BioShock 1 was fantastic. BioShock 2 made BioShock 1 even better. And BioShock Infinite, which is just right out of left field, is such a mind fuck of a game. It's great. You're going to like it.
You go from the ocean to the sky.
Oh my God. BioShock Infinite was awesome. So, all right. It's settled, Zach. After Paper Mario, you're playing BioShock, buddy.
Yay. Commitment.
All right. That leads us into contestant number 2 in that corner, Jonathan.
So, like Zach, I've got backlog. I have several games I've bought, spent hard-earned money on, and have not played. And it's time to stop the madness. All right, so here's game number 1 on my list. Now, what's funny about this one is, Zach, you've heard me talk about how excited I was for this game before, way before we started the podcast, like years ago.
You hyped this up. I thought you already beat it.
No, not it. I barely. Okay, the first game is Octopath Traveler for the Nintendo Switch. So this is a little bit more of a niche game. So, like, let me give you a little bit of the plot. Set in the land of Orstera, the Order of the Sacred Flame believed their world was created by 13 deities before 12 were forced to seal the fallen god Galdera, who refused to relinquish what they created within the afterworld that can be accessed through the sealed flame of Finis. Now, if that sounded like complete gibberish, that's because it was. I'm on the Wikipedia article right now.
So, like, it's Final Fantasy.
Okay, so it's essentially what Octopath Traveler is yes, it's a game kind of like Final Fantasy where a group of people come together for the common goal of saving the world. What made this game different is, first of all, from the story, rather than having a group of, like, you know, clear heroes like a sorcerer and some guy who's good with a sword and a bard, because every good team needs a bard. You have like a merchant who joins the team. People, you know, you have a scholar, somebody who's just really smart. You have a former knight. You have like someone who's really into hunting. You have a dancer and former noble. You have 8 people who don't actually have much of like a background of trying to fight and save the world, who come together for this common goal and use their own special skill set to actually help the other 8 out. They join. It's really cool. It's a really cool concept. Like, there's a thief that joins your party. There's a cleric. It really is. It's a great sounding game. when you put it in those terms. And furthermore than that, the art style was beautiful in the game. It's got like kind of the old pixely adventure type deal, like, you know, like a Mega Man or one of those old side scrollers, except the 3D effect was great and everything was shaded and beautiful. It was such a weird mix of a beautiful world mixed with like the pixely.
It's like a picture book, but like the most animated, pretty picture book that could be.
Ooh.
It really was. It was such a unique art style. And that was one of the big things. And that's what attracted me to the game. So there's a little bit of the plot. There's why I like the game. It sounds amazing. So why haven't I played it yet? Well, pretty much the same reason I have for not playing any of these games. Just other stuff came along, you know?
Paper Mario.
Damn you.
Damn you, you two-dimensional bastard.
I mean, my Switch collection is looking really, really good right now. You know, it's just like you keep getting more and more games. Like oftentimes when I get Switch games, it kind of comes to me in waves, you know, where like I don't buy many games on their own. I usually, you know, for my birthday or for Christmas or through sales or just through like spending sprees, like I'll buy a couple Switch games at a time. And Octopath Traveler just kind of got pushed to the back. And not to mention the fact that you could probably put in like 100 hours. It's just like, well, my backlog is already so big, I can't play this one because then it would take away from other games in the backlog. But that's stupid logic. I don't know. The truth is there's no real reason why I put this hidden gem in my backlog, but it's there. And that's why I'm talking about it with you guys right now.
Boy, I was way off with Octopath Traveler. When you said the name, I was thinking Octodad on vacation.
No.
All right. So that's game one. Any questions about Octopath Traveler? No? Moving on. Oh, and as a final tidbit, it got an 8.5 user score on Metacritic.
Ooh.
Which is, I mean, for a user score, 8.5 is really, really good. So it's a great game. It's acclaimed. It's a good game. It's just in my backlog for some dumb reason. And let's talk about game number 2. Now, game number 2 is much, much older. This game has been around for, let's see, when did this game come out? 2010 on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. It's a series I've slept on, and recently I bought it as a part of a mass Steam sale from the latest Steam sale for my PC. But it's just like, I want to put this game out there before it gets put in the backlog. This game is Mass Effect 2.
Ooh, did you ever play the first one?
No.
What the hell?
No, but my friend who's a huge Mass Effect fan said that like I can just jump into Mass Effect 2 because it's the best of the Mass Effects, and it still makes sense without having played the first one, and that it's going to give me a really, really great adventure.
It does, but if you play Mass Effect 1, you can take every story decision and every character aspect you made into the second game.
Honestly, I heard that that Mass Effect 1 wasn't all that awesome, so I'm okay with just starting from Mass Effect 2. So anyway, Mass Effect is a single player action role-playing game. Basically, you play as Commander Shepard from a third person perspective. You can like choose the race, the military background, the gender. It's one of those games where like your character, you have a lot of say in how they look and who they are. So the game's overworld, and correct me if I'm wrong, is you're in the galaxy and you have a bunch of quests that you need to complete by visiting different planets and different solar systems. What are you trying to do in the games are? What's the ultimate goal?
Well, so there's a lot of different kinds of goals that you can achieve through it. But currently in the universe, there is a war between this armada of robots called the Geth and the people. I can't think of the race right now, but they're the ones who created the Geth, and they're now at war with them. Meanwhile, this intergalactic civil war that's causing every other species to be combined in it, there is a looming presence. The end goal is to destroy the Reapers, which are basically anti-life. They are automated, godlike machines that are here to extinguish anything biological. And wipe out all life in the galaxy. So your goal is to try to stop that.
Well, it sounds really cool.
There's a lot to it.
That's why I picked it up. I picked it up because I have heard so many good things about Mass Effect 2 from people who really, really like the game. And it's not that I didn't think it sounded appealing. It's just, once again, there were always more games for me to play. More games for me to try out that I had more of a vested interest in. And therefore, Mass Effect 2 was put into the backlog. Like I said, I have a really good friend who is in love with this series. And
I know who you're talking about.
I know you know who I'm talking about. And he was excited when I told him I bought this game. And I really want to give it a shot before it gets shoved into the backlog. All right, so here is the last game, and it requires no introduction. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeehaw. Holy crap, man. You missed that hype train.
I know.
South Park even did a few episodes. A whole season dedicated to it.
People are yelling at me through their speakers right now. How have you not played Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yeah, what the hell, man? Again,
it's what drew me in. I mean, if you don't know what Red Dead Redemption 2 is, we talk all the time about God of War winning big. The game God of War won the Game Award in 2018 for the best video game of the year. Its biggest competition was Red Dead Redemption 2. Even though God of War won Game of the Year, Red Dead Redemption 2 won the most awards out of any other game that year. Best, like the visuals, the music, the sound effects, the voice acting. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a huge deal.
I mean, how can you go wrong with Grand Theft Auto on horseback?
Yeah, essentially. So Red Dead Redemption 2 focuses on the life of Arthur Morgan and his position in the notorious Vanderleen gang. The game follows the gang's decline as they are pursued by lawmen, fellow gangs, and Pinkerton agents. Those Pinkertons! So it's a cowboy game. Grand Theft Auto is kind of true. It's like you run around and it's open world. You do whatever you want. You find horses, you kill people, you complete amazing missions. So that's what Red Dead Redemption 2 is. I mean, highly acclaimed, beautiful, the most beautiful graphics. I mean, if it weren't for God of War, this would have been the 2018 Game of the Year for its amazing graphics, its amazing story, its incredible gameplay. It's an all-around great game. And Metacritic can actually highlight that more because it got a user score of 8.4, which compared to the other two games is about on par with one another. Since Octopath Traveler got an 8.5, Mass Effect 2 got an 8.9, and now Red Dead Redemption 2 has an 8.4. But I mean, it's just, this is down as a Metacritic must play. I mean, like I said, so many people are probably yelling at me right now because I haven't played this game. It just got shoved into the backlog.
It's easy to see how that would happen with Red Dead Redemption 2, though, because that game is a nightmare once you start it. Just how massive it is. It's intimidating, and it's kind of makes players not want to start it just because of how much freedom and how much content there is. So I get you there.
If I can play Breath of the Wild, I can play this.
I can play anything.
I mean, that's fair,
I
too.
play anything, man.
999 Korok seeds.
All right, I have given you gentlemen all the information that you need to know. Which of these games, after Paper Mario, is going to be my game?
All right. Just examining this from my perspective here. I was completely wrong about Octopath Traveler, so that one's out for me.
It's not Octodad.
You can't tell me I'm wrong. Leave me with my fantasies. But, and then that comes down to Mass Effect 2 or Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
And now I have to look at this categorically and chronologically. So Mass Effect 2 is a sequel. Red Dead Redemption 2, although says 2, is a prequel to the first game.
Oh, really?
From that, yes. So this isn't spoiler. This is just backstory. So John Marston from the first game, who you play, was in the Vanderleen gang.
Okay.
And in fact, in the first game, you are tasked to hunt down all of your old gang members. And so you meet those people in a more personal and humane nature of this gang as, you know, their family.
Okay.
And so you see the decline into Red Dead Redemption 1. So in my book, I really want you to go back and play Mass Effect 1 because being a huge fan of the series, I honestly don't think you should jump into Mass Effect 2. There is so much story that happens leading up to Mass Effect 2 in the first game. I got to give it to Red Dead 2.
Okay. All right. Okay. Zach, I would love to hear your thoughts, brother.
With that being said, Octopath Traveler is a great game. And it's for the Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo. Oh my
Oh, you
God.
biased. You're so biased.
But Mass Effect 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2 are some of the best games of all time.
You're not wrong.
So Octopath Traveler is not in this.
Okay.
Mass Effect 2 is very story driven. It's very RPG-y. Very cool. Red Dead Redemption 2 is very fuck aroundy. It's a really fun time fucking around. With these thoughts out in the air, neither of these have Nintendo in them, so I'm disappointed. But I will say Mass Effect 2 has my money because it'll get you started on a new series. So if you really like it, you can keep going with it. And it's not nearly as depressing as Red Dead Redemption 2. So I guess.
Ooh, yeah, you're
So
right.
we've got a battle here. It's up to you too. I mean, taking into consideration what you know about me, which game would I have the better time playing?
Mass Effect 2.
Do you think so?
Really? I think he'd had more fun with Red Dead 2. Yeah, he's going to waste a lot of time into it, but I see JP getting down on that.
Well, no, I think he'll enjoy both. Absolutely think he'll enjoy both. But I think Mass Effect 2 has more of that because this is one that you can like do a bunch of different, like you can experience a story a bunch of different ways based off the decisions you make, right?
Yeah.
Czar?
Yes.
We're debating. I want you to tell me I'm right. Okay, good. Thank you.
I don't know if you know what a debate is.
You can't just ask a question that you want me to answer to say yes.
I do it all the time in the movies.
Oh, he's got a point.
That's where I learned all my lawyer stuff. And so I think JP is just such a story-driven guy. That's one of the best stories of all time. And it sets up more of the story. And it's got space titties. So, I mean...
It does have space titties.
Hold up. Can I have a vote?
But JP, I don't think you can live with the consequences of the choices that this game has. Zach's mentioned that Red Dead 2 is sad, and it is very sad. But based off of the decisions you make in Mass Effect 2, your favorite people, your favorite crewmen will live or die. And trust me, if you don't know what you're doing the first time through, they will die.
But I don't want it.
And you will be sad.
I don't want my friends to die.
I would say play Mass Effect 2 on the condition that you do a speed run of Mass Effect 1 first. I'm sorry, I gotta stick to it and say that you have to play Mass Effect 1 to fully enjoy Mass Effect 2.
Can I phone a friend? I'm phoning a friend.
Can he do that?
Can he do that?
I made the game. I am the law.
I am the law. All right. Yeah, call a friend.
Are we?
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
I need your help.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm in a debate. It's going on the podcast.
Okay.
First, do I have your consent to post this?
Yeah, sure, man.
My guy. All
That's
right.
important.
So basically, I'm debating on which game JP should play first, Mass Effect 2 or Red Dead Redemption 2. And I know you, and you know Mass Effect. All right.
Yeah.
Now I'm putting my vote in Mass Effect because I think it's just more for JP because JP loves that story-driven narrative, and he gets to have choices in the story-driven narrative. I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I like to hear that.
That was
so-
your phone a friend?
No, okay. No.
I'm correct.
He thinks that you need to play Mass Effect 1 to get the most out of Mass Effect 2.
Not at all.
Okay, and Peaches is never wrong, so
Damn.
I say this as a person that's put over 500 hours into Mass Effect as a whole.
Thank you.
You don't need to play Mass Effect 1 to enjoy or get everything out of Mass Effect 2.
Did you get that? Did you guys get that?
I mean, yeah, we're listening to the whole conversation.
Perfect. All right. So I just phoned a friend with 500 hours of experience on the Mass Effect series. So not only do I have connections and have proven that I'm right, but Peaches has proven me more right. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Anything else I can help you out with? Any other Mass Effect needs?
I just got a mass love effect on you, boy. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, I love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Jesus. At the risk of sounding redundant, I could phone my friend who has equal amount of hours, who basically forced me to play all the games in order so he could see how I reacted to them. You definitely got to play Mass Effect.
Fellas, there's no need to fight over little old me. There's plenty of me for both of you.
JP, who knows you better?
Oh, come on.
It's coming down to that, is
it?
No. Guys, it's not up to me. You have to
We
choose the
played
game.
Yu-Gi-Oh together.
Oh, you got to bring Yu-Gi-Oh into this, huh?
It's time to I win.
I don't know if we're ever going to hit a middle ground on this. I think we might have to agree to disagree. What do we do in a tie?
You pick my game.
All right, JP.
Play both.
What?
What?
Okay.
Octopath Traveler.
I guess that I'll agree with that. Octopath Traveler it is.
Are you kidding me?
We got a default.
Oh my
Like
God.
you're playing
I'm playing Octopath Traveler because you two couldn't decide.
Yes, precisely.
I think it's a good default. If we can't come to a consensus, the other one wins.
That's a good compromise.
No, you know what? Honestly, that's pretty true.
Looks like you're playing Octopath Traveler.
Well, Peach is going to be pretty mad. I'm just letting you know.
Oh my God. Nope. You guys, if you agree, do you both agree?
I agree.
He agrees that Mass Effect 2 is the game you should play.
No, I agree about Octopath Traveler.
All right. Well, I agree to disagree. So Octopath wins by
This
default.
took a very weird turn, but it looks like my game is Octopath Traveler.
This wasn't even in the rule book.
Well, that's it. I'm playing Octopath Traveler. Zach's playing BioShock, and Czar, it's time to talk about your games.
All right. So first in my gaming backlog is a game that JP, you will recognize. Two games, actually, because my backlog's a little bit weird. Two of these choices are two games because they go together. But JP saw me buy this for the Switch for free with my Nintendo Gold coins, but Bad Dream, both Coma and Fever.
Yeah.
So Bad Dream, and this is just an overall umbrella description for the series, is a point and click style horror game done in a really creative pencil drawn art style. Most visuals are in black and white. However, important visuals like blood stand out with different shades of color. Players are also given the freedom to choose which way their nightmare will unfold. Will you punch the birds into bloody pulp, or will you offer a freshly severed hand to the scarecrow? Or maybe you'll just sit on the bed and poke the stuffed unicorn until time ends.
What?
All very viable choices in these games. It's a very difficult style puzzle game, but the terrifying story rewards are so worth it.
Okay.
So like I said, I got this game on the Switch and I checked the Metacritic score, and Bad Dream Coma got a 79 for the critic score, and Fever was to be determined. Okay. So I don't know what that means. And I started playing these games, but my biggest problem with horror games especially is I like playing them around people. I like having scary game nights, where if the character dies in the game, we all feel like we just got punched in the throat, or like playing it on my YouTube channel or something. And so this game is such a creative horror story that I backlogged. I don't know, because I didn't have anybody around with me, but I should totally play it on my own and get over myself.
Okay. That's I'm not gonna lie, that definitely sounds like a game on Czar's backlog.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, where do you find these?
Punch the birds.
Yeah, for real. Do you just have your own thing? Do you just have a developer on hand?
Well, actually, I originally discovered the Bad Dream series when I got my wisdom teeth taken out. And I just was in bed all day watching Markiplier videos. And he did the entire series back when it was on Kickstarter.
Oh, wow.
I was just intrigued by them. And so when I caught them on the Switch, and especially because I could get them for free from buying other games from the Switch, I just had to.
Okay. I mean, I understand exactly why you purchased this. It's your type of game, my man. It really is. Zach, are you dead yet?
No, why would I be dead?
Did you punch the bird?
Just when Czar talks about these kind of things, I'm just worried.
I do get nervous.
All right, so that's game one. What do you got next?
All right, so for game two, and I hyped this up a few episodes ago, but Destroy All Humans, the reboot.
Okay.
Be the alien, break humanity, throw cows with your mind. Take on the role of Crypto as he invades Earth in the 1950s. Your mission, extract the brain stems of pathetic Earthlings to harvest that sweet, sweet Furon DNA. How are you going to do this? Well, by using a plethora of weapons such as the Zap-O-Matic, Disintegrator Ray, and of course, the Anal Probe. Also at your disposal, your handy-dandy flying saucer. Tear down buildings. Nah, screw that. Tear down entire cities, all while hovering at a perfect viewing distance. But that's not all. Crypto also has telepathic abilities and is able to throw cars, cows, and people with his mind. And he can even expand the human cranium to extract brains, with a single thought.
I just imagine your whole spiel. I just imagine like infomercial music all over it, like just that do 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 do. Okay, so why are you intrigued with this game, and how did it end up in the backlog?
Okay, so everything about this game intrigues me. I mean, I love playing the bad guy. I love being the person that is hated the most within the game because it's always more fun. And as an invading alien, that fun just don't stop. But and so I played the original games. I played the first three, and then there was one weird one that was on like the Nintendo DS or maybe PlayStation Portable or something. Never played that one, but so that's why I was so interested in this. But unfortunately, when I pre-ordered the game and started playing it, I found out it's exactly the same as the original game. Story-wise, not visuals. Visuals were improved, but story-wise, to character voices, they just copy and pasted those. To missions, weapons, there's nothing new about this game except for just better polished mission settings in the mothership and overall visuals. That's about it, and it's actually pretty buggy, so that's kind of why it went into the backlog. But it's still fun, and it's very nostalgic, and it really wouldn't take that long to play, maybe 10 hours at most. But for as buggy and as lacking of new things as there are, the visuals don't make up for it. I mean, for being brought onto the modern gen, it really doesn't look modern. And the Metacritic score reflects this with a weak 69 out of 100.
You mean nice?
Oh,
Nice.
Noise. No ice.
Okay. So we've got Bad Dream. We've got Destroy All Humans. What's next?
And now this is the other 1 and 2-parter of a game that very avid listeners will remember from like our 4th episode, Lords of Shadow 1 and 2 from the Castlevania series.
Okay.
I got about 65% done with Lords of Shadow 1 saw that Lords of Shadow 2 was free for Xbox Gold members, so naturally I downloaded it because it did really pique my interest. So Lords of Shadow 1 is a reboot of the Castlevania series from 2010, set in Southern Europe during the Middle Ages, and the story focuses on Gabriel Belmont and his quest to defeat a malevolent order known as the Lords of Shadow and resurrect his wife. The player controls Gabriel in 3D environments as he uses melee skills to defeat enemies and solve puzzles to move through the game. And now that came from Wiki because it's been so long since I played this that I could not remember a description on my own. So what I think about this game is it's a great game from 2010, but the gameplays and visuals have not stood the test of time. You got fixed camera angles, clunky, chunky oaf of a main character, unforgiving combat when you have no idea what's going on. But the game has a compelling story and very memorable moments, enemies, and characters. And I mean, it's Castlevania with every monster from lore ever known. So that's so up my alley.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like your kind of game. All of these do, but...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And so that's just the first one. And the second one I have not touched. I really do want to play it and get through the first one. But the second one, the story is set in both medieval and modern times. And it follows a weakened Dracula on a quest to defeat his former enemy, Satan. Ooh. Gameplay takes place after the original Lords of Shadow, but this time it's through an open world. The player controls Dracula, who uses multiple powers and weapons to achieve his goals. And so I was interested enough in the first game that I had to get the sequel. So naturally, how could Castlevania not tickle my fancy?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
And so as a final note, Lords of Shadow 1 was clearly the better game. And this kind of scares me because it got an 85 on Metacritic. But the second Lords of Shadow got a 63. Oof. Yeah. So I mean, nice. I know we are not influenced by the ratings here. We have said that time and time again that it's very hard to trust Metacritic, but with that big of a gap in score, I'm still a little bit worried about starting the second one.
As you should be. Okay. You have quite the list here, Czar, but it's the czariest list I could imagine.
I was going to say, I feel like I can't even pick one of these because I'm like, do I even know Czar? Like, what is perfect Czar? It's got to be Bad Dream, right, JP?
I mean, the thing with Bad Dream is, I mean, the games honestly don't take that long, you know? Like, it's Bad Dream, it's a cool series, but for one, he said that he's already watched Markiplier play most of these games, so how much replay value is he really going to get out of it?
True.
And that's why I'm leaning more towards Castlevania.
Although, JP, I know I am completely unbiased in this, but Bad Dream does have multiple replayability because you were there when I first started up this game and I started punching all the birds and I started going to the bad ending. Poor
birds. Yeah, I do. He's got another point. I don't know, Zach, what are you thinking? What's your logic here?
Well, I say you put your money where your mouth is, Czar. You've been hyping up Destroy All Humans the past month and a half, and now you're over here not playing it.
Yeah.
You're looking like a big old fool, like me in Wonderful 101. What the hell, man?
It's so buggy. Like, the cutscenes look cool, but there's this red pixelation that Crypto uses to teleport. And for whatever reason, that same animation will stick to certain characters during cutscenes. So like at the bottom of the screen, there will just be a tiny red flashing pixelated square like Crypto is teleporting inside this person's dress. Jeez. It's just bugs me so much.
And the other reason why I say not to go with Destroy All Humans is because it's just a remake. He's played the original. It's just a remake. So it's like he's not getting a new adventure out of it. You know,
All right, so I'm going down the list. Now that all that's left is Castlevania Lords of Shadow. I said Bad Dream, you were like, nah, F that. I said Destroy All Humans, you were like, nah, F that. When I say Castlevania, you like, nah, F that.
So maybe I should just stop playing games altogether.
Yeah, get out of here.
Maybe you should play Luigi's Mansion 3.
I wish.
Okay. I'm leaning more towards Castlevania Lord of Shadows just because, like, I feel like you're going to get the most out of it. It's a game you haven't played before. It's got the first one anyway, has a good Metacritic score. It really sounds enticing. The way you describe the story, it sounds like something you'd really enjoy. It sounds really, really cool. Bad Dream, I mean, it's cool, but it's kind of it's a flavor of the month kind of game in which, you know, it's one of those things where you'll play it, you'll have a good time, but you won't really ever think about it much again after that. I feel like you've got something much more special with Castlevania.
That's a good point. That made a lot of good points in that.
And Destroy All Humans is Destroy All Humans.
I said Bad Dream and you made fun of me, and I said Destroying All Humans, you made fun of me, so I'm going to go with Castlevania because you haven't made fun of me for that one yet.
Oh, we can make fun of you, buddy. Do you want... Don't worry,
stop. Make it stop.
My feelings get hurt.
Wow, that was the easiest consensus that we've come to tonight.
It really, yeah, no arguing, no fighting. Castlevania Lords of Shadows, man, that's going to be your game. And as soon as all three of us stop playing Paper Mario.
Oh, Paper Mario.
All right.
Mario.
So let's go.
Mario.
Let's go down the list one more time. Zach, what's your game? What did we choose for you?
The one, the only. That's not true. There's three of them. BioShock.
Zach's got his BioShock on. I'm playing Octopath Traveler in a really funny turn of events.
Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, me neither.
What a twist.
But I am excited. And Czar, you are going to be playing Castlevania Lords of Shadows. How's everybody feeling? Are you disappointed? Did you like the game you got?
I'm actually pretty excited about mine because, like I said, I got about 65% done with Lords of Shadow 1. And I don't even remember why I stopped playing. I think I got smashed for... Oh, I got the Switch. That's what happened. I stopped playing because I got a Switch.
Oh, this is all Zach's fault.
Nintendo. And with that being said, yeah, I'm pretty stoked for BioShock. It's finally time I stopped putting off this masterpiece.
And I feel the same way, man. Octopath Traveler, I mean, like I said, it was a funny turn of events, but I really am. I'm super excited to finally have the ball and chain, you're gonna play this game, gun to your head. And I'm like, okay, geez.
See, now we all gotta finish our games from the backlog, and then we gotta do a review of how it all went.
A review of how Zach ruined my life.
Yeah.
That only would have been true if I were stuck with Mass Effect 2, to be honest, from the sounds of it. But yeah, we're going to have to come back to this and maybe do a special episode of Rate That Rating or something with the game that we got. I don't know. All I know is that this segment was really fun, Zach. This was a great idea.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you. Sometimes I have good ideas.
Yeah, sometimes.
With all that being said, I think that means you've gotten your what, Czar?
Yo, Game T.
Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of the Game T Podcast. We will see you in the next episode.
Bye!
Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of the Game T Podcast. If you liked what you heard, why not follow us on social media? You can find us on Twitter at the Game T Podcast X. You can find us on Facebook at the Game T Podcast, and you can find us on Instagram at the Game T Podcast.